What's up? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music. As a musician myself, today is the second time I listened to a game called Gitaroo, man. This is B-Jam Blues. This is requested by Justin. And he actually left a comment on the other video I did. It says, Gitaroo Man is a rhythm game where the main character, U1, battles people in musical battle. Uses original music from the Japanese band COIL. Cool. I don't remember much of that. I just remember that it was obviously like guitar heavy. And well, let's just get back into it. This is B-Jam Blues. I'm expecting some blues. Let's go.
Everybody, there's a new king in town. Get ready. Mojo, Mojo, Mojo King, baby!
Wow. So funky. Yeah, it's bluesy, yeah, but it's not blues per se. The guitar is. Everything else is not really. Properly titled because it's definitely a jam. You know what I mean? Choir. Sounds like a church choir. It almost sounds like a jam recorded, as in like a live take. God, this is such a era painted all over it as the 90s. The song sounds like a sunny afternoon at the park. There's a lot of sounds in this song. Correct me if I'm wrong to the requester, but I'm pretty sure this requester is a Persona fan as well, which I can see. Because if anything, I feel like this game, I don't know if it came before Persona, but it feels like this is like a kind of a gateway drug into Persona. Okay, like I said, I don't know when it's made, but it has such a decade sound to it, which is, I don't want to say late 80s. It definitely sounds like early 90s, mid 90s, definitely mid 90s. This is what like I guess like hip hop sort of sounded like in the 90s to some. On the more commercial side, like commercials and like movie trailers and stuff. When I think of like that era of hip hop, I think of kind of like this, and it was just drenched in it. You know, the background choir, the wah guitar, the bass is going kind of the beat. The beat sounds very much of that time. And what's funny is that I was expecting a lot of blues. Right? When I think of blues, I think of the guitar up front and center. And while it was bluesy, it wasn't the blues that I was thinking of. What the blues was referring to here was like every time the guitar came in, then it was bluesy. For the most part, if the guitar was not there at all, it was just a jam track. And for those that don't know, jams or like jamming is an actual thing. It's an actual like term regarding to just like this kind of repeating thing over and over and over. That's why the song never changed for 4 minutes. And then it's just like adding different, imagine like a band just like jamming, right? And then, all right, now this guy plays and now this one solos, and that's what it is. It's just like a kind of improv type thing where something can bloom from. But every time the blues came in or the guitar came in, that's when it got bluesy, because what he was doing was a mixture of two iconic guitar scales, which is the pentatonic scale and the blues scale. So I can hear that like right away. It's the most widely used guitar scale in the world. Everybody knows it. Everyone that plays guitar knows it. It's the pentatonic scale. So it just has a sound to it, and it was there. But I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't like blues. I'm not like trying to label it or anything. I'm just saying I thought it was gonna be, when I think blues, I think of like, that kind of like slower type thing with the guitar like crying in front and more of a lead. This was more of like in the background. Anyways, another song it kind of reminded me of was a reaction I did a while ago from an NBA Live, the only sports game I've ever done. It was called Fresh Trip. My friend JD requested that. You'll see what I'm kind of saying with this kind of like 90s hip hop sound. Reminded me of Price from Persona a lot. Kind of the same thing. I don't know if I was listening to a saxophone or not in this one. There was some sort of lead that kind of sounded like a horn section, but I couldn't really tell what it was. It could have just been a keyboard. I don't know. That was like trying to emulate a saxophone. But either way, I mean, the whole thing was just like the words that kept coming to mind were like funky, fresh. It was cool. Or what's the 90s? Was rad? I don't know. I still say rad. And then the other thing I wrote down was like I said, this had such a sound associated with like when I think of sounds, I always think of like the images to go with it. So I kept thinking of like everything 90s as possible, like marbles, pogs, the overalls with one strap coming down, flat tops, all that, Power Rangers, etc., etc. Stuff I grew up with that I was a kid. But to have this in a game, now that I know it's like a rhythm game or something like that, that's pretty cool. I don't know again when it was made, but it sounds to me like this game was maybe ahead of its time, or it's just trying to capture a sound from earlier days and it came out like in the, more recently. Who knows? But it's interesting, and it's quite unique actually to have. How do I put this? It's more like regular music as opposed to like video game music. So I actually looked it up here just right now. So officially, it says Gitaroo Man is a rhythm video game developed by Ines and published by COIL for PlayStation 2. Oh, so it is newer. Or newer than the era of the music it's making. The game features visual production by Mitsuru Nakamura and an original soundtrack by Japanese band COIL. I gotta listen to more COIL. The game was released in Japan 2001 and North America on wow, almost a year later. Oh, so this is a Japanese product. Interesting. So is it like the Japanese take on American, like, I don't know, but obviously, and obviously I noticed these like characters, but I just didn't put it together. This is like a heavily Japanese inspired game. There's so many questions when it comes to this, but I mean, look, I'm looking at it now, like really paying attention. You got a boombox, dog, you got a robot kid with angel wings. Yeah, there's just something going on in this one. But it seems overall it's a big thank you to like art lovers. Like it's like the art of music, the art of games, the art of art. You know what I mean? It has that sort of visual flair and audio flair as well. Pretty cool. I'm going to listen to the other one I did too, because now I'm curious. I can't possibly remember every song that comes to me, but it's nice to have like recollection later on that I can compare them to. Like maybe the other one doesn't even sound like this one. And then of course I don't know what B Jam means, or if that's a character or not. Anyways, I'm sure you guys will tell me. I'm sure the requester Justin will tell me. But I liked it. It was I grew up with everything that's in this song. All the horns, the hip hop section, the guitars, so it was a very all over the place kind of conjunction of sounds, which I like. So sweet. Gitaroo Man, B Jam Blues, aka Blue Scale on the guitar. If you're curious about that, just YouTube search like guitar pentatonic scale or blue scale, and you'll probably get like a lesson on it. But like if you can find like a couple videos of people just jamming it, or just like what it sounds like, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, thank you, Justin, and Gitaroo Man fans. If you want to make a request too, you can do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are totally fine if you don't mind waiting. If you want to skip the line, there is the Platinum tier on Patreon, which I provide. Big thank you to my current supporters: Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Callanan, Gardelane, DJ Singletone, Ushimari, Jordan, and Fissy. Thank you all so much. I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy. My name is Jesse. Peace.